to order. If you're able, will you please stand as we have a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have no patrons' comments tonight, so we'll move on to agenda item 4, consideration of routine business. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Glover. The routine business this evening includes approving the minutes of the school board meeting held on April 13th, 2026, and approving the claims and signing the docket. I recommend the board approve the routine items as presented.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Mr. Mosby, seconded by Mr. France. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Agenda item 6, consideration of items for board action. 6.1, approved course edition.
Thank you, Mrs. Glover. Mr. Jason Fisher, Director of Learning, has brought to the board a new course edition for consideration and approval. This course will be available at WPCC during the 2027-2028 academic year, and it's called Early Childhood Education Capstone. So just for clarity, the reason we're doing it 2 full years out, we already have the year 1 coursework approved, and this is the second year coursework, so we just wanted to get that all tightened up and ready. So therefore, I recommend the board approve the course edition as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Franz, seconded by,
Mr. Baker.
oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Baker. Motion by Mr. Baker, seconded by Mr. Eigner to approve this course edition. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Agenda item 6.2, approved contracts for the Food and Nutrition Department. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Glover. Mrs. Shanae Rao has brought to the board several bid recommendations for the 26-27 school year. Those were outlined in your board packet. I recommend the board approve the recommended contracts as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion by
Second.
Mr. France, seconded by Mrs. Wilhelmus to approve the food and nutrition recommendations. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. And yes, you'll wave a hand, speak up.
Sorry, I just didn't hear it.
That's okay.
So we didn't take a long enough break between work session and this meeting. We're a little off kilter tonight. Okay.
I think we've been on spring break or something. Agenda item 6.3, approve the bid refuse agreement. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Glover. Dr. Doug Gresham has brought to the board a bid recommendation for refuse from 7/1/26 to 6/30/29. Dr. Gresham would like to recommend Waste Management as the lowest responsible bidder. I recommend the board approve the recommendation as presented.
Motion to approve.
Second. I have a motion by Mr. Mosby, seconded by Mr. Baker to approve this refuse agreement. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'll abstain.
Motion carried with 1 abstention. Agenda item 6.4, approved bid for Castle High School, Tecumseh Middle School, and Tecumseh High School renovation project. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Glover. Mr. Todd Armstrong has brought to the board a bid recommendation for the renovation projects at Castle High School, Tecumseh High School, and Tecumseh Middle School. After careful consideration and review of subcontracts, projected completion date, and bid totals, Mr. Armstrong would like to recommend Danco Construction. And just for the public, some of that work includes renovation of restrooms, 10 of them at Castle High School, 4 restrooms in adjacent areas at Tecumseh Middle and Tecumseh High, some floor tile and carpet work, and some HVAC work. I recommend the board approve the recommendation as presented.
So
Motion to
moved.
approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Eidner, seconded by Mrs. Wilhelmus to approve a contract with Danco. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Agenda item 6.5, we have a first reading of policy 5600 regarding meal charges. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Glover. Dr. Walter Lambert has brought to the board Policy 5600, meal charges. Tonight is the first reading, and no action will be taken. Second reading will occur on the May 11th, 2026 board meeting. And just again, for the public, you can see the original and the proposed changes on our website. I'm just going to highlight the main areas that we're looking to consider changing. And it really just has to do with the taking out the language of particular benchmarks for when a student was at $10 or $20 and those things, and replacing it with the following language. If a student does not have sufficient funds in the student's meal account or on hand at the time of service, the student shall be provided a regular reimbursable meal that meets USDA meal pattern requirements, and the cost of that meal shall accrue to the student's account in accordance with administrative guidelines. A student with a negative meal account balance shall not be permitted to charge a la carte items. Just for everyone's knowledge, that's just all the extra stuff. So they will still be given a meal, they just cannot buy the extras. Staff members and other adults shall not be permitted to charge meals. Negative meal account balances shall be addressed through reasonable collection efforts directed to parents and guardians, and when appropriate, pursued through lawful means and handled in accordance with policy 6600 and applicable administrative guidelines. So that's just in part. Again, you can read the full proposed changes on our website.
Can I ask a quick question on that? This is probably silly, but when a student comes up and they don't have sufficient funds, what happens right at that moment? Do they have to go to the end of the line or something like that?
No. They don't go, they can go through, they just put their
It's a
number
smooth
in.
process
So
and-
they put a number in, so that's
Okay.
how the meal gets charged to them,
Okay.
is their student number.
Okay.
So there's a keypad right there, they just put their number in, so no one knows
Okay.
who's on paid lunch, not paid
Yeah.
lunch, who owes money, who doesn't
Okay.
owe money. And then we attempt to reach parents and let people know.
Right.
Now, if they go to the a la carte line and attempt to buy something,
Yeah, that's-
then obviously they're gonna have to be, told
Yeah.
they can't.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. Agenda item 6.6, we have first reading of policy 6500, the investment policy. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you,
No, it's
Mrs.
just the
Glover.
first reading.
Dr. Walter Lambert has brought to the board Policy 6500, Investment Policy. Again, tonight is the first reading. The second reading will take place on May 11th, at which time the board may take action. And for investment policy, the big change here was simply removing the specificity of the labeling of the funds, because those names sometimes get changed, and it is replaced with the following. The Board of Finance shall meet annually on or before January 31st as required by Indiana law to designate public depositories and conduct related business. Under scope, this is where one of the changes was made, rather than listing out the different funds, it says the investment policy applies to all transactions involving the financial assets and related activities of all of the state-approved fund categories for the Warwick County School Corporation. And then under objectives, it simply outlines funds of the school corporation shall be invested in accordance with Indiana law, Indiana State Board of Accounts, requirements, policies, regulations. Under B, funds will be held for future capital projects and shall be invested to produce, to the extent possible, sufficient income to offset increase in costs. Bond proceeds and their designated fund shall be invested to ensure, to the extent possible, given current market conditions, a rate of return equal to the interest being paid. And finally, all participants in the investment process shall act responsibly as custodians of the school corporation's funds. Investment officials and their designees shall avoid any transaction that might impair public confidence in Warwick County School Corporation's ability to govern and manage funds effectively.
That's a mouthful. Thank you.
We will take good care of finances. Yes.
Absolutely. Agenda item 6.7, consider approving donations. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Glover. Again, tonight, several donations. We always thank all of our partners and community members who are always so generous. At WPCC, $5,000 donation from Kaiser Aluminum to be used for certification costs and supplies for the advanced manufacturing programs. Also at WPCC, $8,094 from Ascension to cover health science certification costs. At Tecumseh High School, a $700 donation from the NRA Foundation to the Tecumseh Clay Target Team to be used for team supplies. Also at Tecumseh, a $500 donation from Full Throttle Automotive to the Tecumseh baseball team to be used for supplies and equipment. And at Chandler, a $2,500 donation from Antonio Harris for sports equipment, students' shoes, shirts, and uniforms. Former student, former athlete who's come back, giving back to his community. We love that. I recommend the board approve the donations as submitted.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mrs. Wilhelmus, seconded by Mr. Mosby to approve these donations. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Agenda item 7, consideration of personnel recommendations. Dr. Gresham.
Thank you, Mrs. Glover. The Human Resource Office has the following business to bring before the board tonight. Agenda item 7.1, consideration of employment. Mason certified staff, Mason Gross, choir teacher at Boonville High School for the 26-27 school year. All of these certified staff are for the 26-27 school year. Joshua Wadgen, science teacher at Boonville High School Diploma Pathways. August Richardson, math teacher at Boonville High School Diploma Pathways. Dennis Sutton, special education teacher at Castle High School. Adam Watson, business teacher at Castle High School. Daisy Lowe, special education teacher at John H. Castle Elementary. Lacey Stone, special education teacher at Oakdale Elementary. The following administrators: Terry Raudenbush, principal at Castle North Middle School for the 26-27 school year, and Michael Chapman, assistant principal at Boonville High School and WEC for the 26-27 school year. The following non-certified staff: Faith Lyons, library aide at Sharon Elementary School for the 26-27 school year, and Alexander Milburn, full-time custodian at Castle North Middle School, and the varsity coach, Jason Gansman, varsity boys basketball coach at Boonville High School.
Motion to approve certified staff, administrators, non-certified staff, and varsity coach.
Thank you. Second. Excuse me, a motion by Mr. France, seconded by Mr. Baker. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. Agenda item 7.2, leaves. August Richardson, program assistant at Boonville High School.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Mosby, seconded by Mr. Eidner to approve a leave. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. Agenda item 7.3, report of transfers. Sarah Bruger, social studies teacher at Castle South Middle School to social studies teacher at Castle High School for the 26-27 school year. Wanda Schwartz, special education teacher at Boonville Middle School to special education teacher at Tecumseh Middle School for the 26-27 school year. Samantha Askew, full-time custodian at Logue Elementary to full-time custodian at Tennyson Elementary. Bailey Weedle, cafeteria float to 3.0 hours cafeteria position at Chandler Elementary. And Dawn Boren, cafeteria float to 6.5 hours cafeteria position at Castle South Middle School. And agenda item 7.4, resignations. Andrew Fouts, program assistant at Castle High, resignation effective May 8th, 2026. John Whitehead, bus driver, resignation effective May 20, 2026. Tracy Post, science teacher at Castle North Middle School, resignation effective May 21st, 2026. Miranda Towery, program assistant at Boonville Middle School, resignation effective May 21, 2026. Sharon Corman, program assistant at Boonville High, resignation effective May 21, 2026. Michelle Brookman, program assistant at Castle North, resignation effective May 21, 2026. Addison Patton, program assistant at Yankeetown Elementary, resignation effective April 17, 2026. And Donald Winsett, bus aide, resignation effective April 15, 2026.
Thank you, Dr. Gresham. Agenda item 8, new reports. Dr. Redmond.
And we have two reports tonight. The first one is from Dr. Lambert.
I have a brief report. You've seen the changes with the policies that we have coming up. The policy committee is also working on the new cell phone policy. We hope to have that ready in May. The changes that the state had sent down were what we need to address. And then there was another policy, the rainy day fund, where we didn't bring it in front of you to have a first or second reading just because it didn't need it. It was just a change in the references to the law and that. So Mr. Whitehead had found a couple things that were incorrect and got that changed, and that's why it's not something we have to go and vote on, so.
But it is in your packet,
Yes,
yes, and a copy of it as well.
yep, that's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. Lambert.
Okay, we also have a report tonight from Mr. Jason Fisher.
Good evening. Just wanted to remind the board that we are currently in the middle of the iLearn window right now in all 10 of our elementary schools and our 4 middle schools. The iLearn window opened on Monday, April 13th, and it will close on Friday, May the 8th. Just to remember, in grades 5, we administer iLearn Social Studies. Grades 4 and 6, we administer iLearn Science. And in grades 3 through 8, we administer mathematics and English language arts. Our science scores are beginning to populate for those students who have completed the exam, but our English language arts scores, our social studies scores in grade 5, and our mathematics scores will not be final until September. And the reason that those will not be final until September is this is the first year that we are administering the assessment that is completely over the new revamped 2023 Future Focus Standards. So in late July, the IDOE will be doing some standard setting. One thing that is a little unique this year in Warwick County, in grade 12, the iLearn government assessment has always been optional. This year, many of our grade 12 students are taking the iLearn government, as it is now a student success indicator point on the new accountability model that was unveiled in March of this year. And we are also in the middle of administering the iLearn biology, which has always been a required exam. And both of those assessments will conclude on Friday, May 15th. I'm happy to report earlier this year, you may have remembered that Dr. Redmond and myself, or actually myself, gave a presentation over our E&L learners. And we just received our WIDA scores back today. And very pleased to report that of the 241 students that we have in Warwick County who are required to take the WIDA assessment, 80% of them met their projected growth target for English language proficiency. So we're really thrilled with those results, and just a testament to our E&L teachers, our general education teachers, our administrators, and Mrs. Sarah Smith in the Department of Learning, who has worked so hard with our E&L teachers this year to look at the services we're providing and to see how we can improve those. So we're extremely pleased with those results. You may be asking yourself, Mr. Fisher, well, we have 523 E&L students. Why did we only administer 241 exams? Because many of those students have tested out of E&L services, meaning they have received a score that would allow them to exit English language services. The last thing I want to remind everyone of is just as soon as our iLearn window concludes, we'll be right back in it again with iRead. This year, the iRead summer window opens on May 11th, and that goes all the way through June, but we'll have iRead Summer School taking place at one location this year. Last year, we did it at 2 locations. We had grade 2 at Oakdale, we had grade 3 at Chandler, and just having the 2 separate locations created some difficulties with transportation and teacher services and aides or nurses. So this year, we're going to have it all at Chandler Elementary, and we will begin that the day after Memorial Day, and we will conclude on Friday, June the 5th. Does the board have any questions for me? Thank you all very much.
Thank you,
Mr.
Fisher.
Fisher.
Do you have anything?
I don't have any other reports, just a few announcements and reminders. This Friday, May 1st, is School Lunch Hero Day. So I just wanted to publicly thank all of our folks who work in our food and nutrition department. They work really hard every day and take their jobs very seriously to make sure they're serving nutritious breakfast and lunch to our students so they can have a fantastic day of learning. So we appreciate everything that they do out of that department. And then also, right around the corner, just a few weeks, we have our graduation. So just a reminder, on Friday, May 15th at 7, we graduate our seniors at Tecumseh. And then on Saturday, May 16th at 9 a.m., we have the Boonville High School ceremony, followed by the Castle High School ceremony at 2 o'clock. So those are coming up quickly. It's a fun time of year where we're trying to wrap things up and also at the same time have a lot of fun in the end of the year celebrations. And it's always an adventure these last few weeks of school. So
double up on your B12 and iron. Do we have any other business from the board?
Well, I see several of the WCTA members and executive committee in the audience, and I just want to thank you for your part in the teacher retirement and appreciation dinner. That was a lovely evening at Friedman Park, and I would like to congratulate the retirees and the I think we only had one teacher being recognized as a 25-year teacher this year, and the Friends of Education. So again, it was a lovely evening, and I want to thank the WCTA for facilitating and putting that on. And congratulations to everyone involved and being celebrated that evening. We have a policy committee meeting May 11th at 5:45 here in this building. This Wednesday, April 29th, we have student growth and learning, and that will be at the admin office at 7:30 a.m. And I believe that's all I have.
And I'd like to announce the Personnel Committee will be meeting May the 11th at 6:15 that evening right here in this building. And the following morning, the Construction Committee, that's May 12th at 7:30 in the Administration Building. That's all I have.
Then our next board meeting will be May 11th, 7 p.m. here at Central Services, not Central Office. I do want to echo Mrs. Wilhelmus's comments. It was a lovely dinner reception and was just a lot of fun. I appreciate the opportunity to attend. I'd like to commend, Mr. Skinner could not be here tonight because of a family engagement, but he reached commendable levels through the Indiana School Board Association the EGA Awards. And then shout out to Mr. Baker and Mr. Mosby for reaching the exemplary level 4. And then, of course, we have to give a nod to Mrs. Wilhelmus. She's on our honor roll for exemplary board members. And it just shows the dedication, work, and the commitment for professional development and learning best ways that we can serve our students.
And also to President Glover, she is our Region 9 Director. So she wears a lot of hats, and thank you for all your hard work, and we commend you for that.
Thank you. So, no further business. I will now adjourn the meeting.